Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for The Love Experiment Season 1, Episode 5 called Secrets Revealed. Now, I'm not understanding why they switched the Love Experiment time with caught in the act unfaithful, because now that's for like 9 and the caught in the act is for 10. Okay, so they wanted to switch it up on us after VMAs, whatever. So this episode, we gonna immediately get started off with Paige and Chris in hot tub. So Paige is asking Chris, have you ever masturbated before? Because remember, he's a virgin. Even though he done other things, but, he just never penetrated a female's vagina with his genitalia. So he said he tries not to. And, when he's not focused on sex, that's how he does better at his work. And, people ask him why he's always in the gym. It's to release that energy and tension where he'd rather, put that energy and tension on his genitalia, but he puts it into working out at the gym. Nice answers, Chris. Do I feel like these answers are genuine and real? Not really, but okay, we're going to go with what you said. We're going to go with what you said. That's the reason. Sure, fine, yeah. Yeah, okay. So then we get to the other men. They're chilling at the house. We're talking about the people who wasn't chosen for the weekend getaway. And, they're a little nervous and a little jealous about the selected 3. They talk about it for 2 seconds, and then we get back to the weekend trip. So then we have Mars and Ishan. They're roasting marshmallows as they talk, and we get back to the men's suite yet again, and we have Justin standing up on the table, chair, whatever the case was, and making an announcement that, they gonna turn up. So they do a toast, and I'm like, okay, y'all turning up there, because I'm in my head, I'm like, when y'all say turn up, y'all gonna go to the club and stuff, talk to other girls, like what's going on? But I think they just hung out at the house, play pool, listen to music, maybe smoke or whatever. So I mean, that's cool, you gotta let the time pass by, read a book or something too, Okay. And then we get back to everyone getting home from their dates for the day. And I guess there's private chefs at the house that's going to be making dinner for everyone. So that's cool. But I guess Mars, she's still feeling a little distraught about the information she found out about Jamal talking crap about Tamara. So she pulls Tamara to the side to let her know what Jamal done said. And, Tamara said immediately her walls are going back up, and she's hoping it's not true or else someone's going to feel her wrath. And we definitely felt her wrath. Because as Chris and Ishan are talking about their day, and then Jamal comes over as they're sitting waiting for the girls to get ready for the dinner that night, Paige and Mars, Paige and Tamara are talking now, and Paige is saying Mars should have told her first, so that way they could have confronted Tamara together to tell her in a probably better, effective way. But for me, I'm just kind of like, Paige, that doesn't make any sense, because the issue is not with you. Why would Mars go to you first? No, that's gonna then make it seem like you and Mars are talking behind Tamara's back, and it's gonna kind of actually might be even worse. So I think it is best that Mars went directly to Tamara with the information, even though technically she told us in the confessional first. But as far as you two, it's best that she tells Tamara first. Now, as Tamara said later on in the episode, literally like 2 scenes from this scene, you should have told me the moment you found out. But I mean, would it have changed the feelings of it? I mean, maybe, because of the fact she didn't kiss Jamal yet at that point, but it still would have hurt regardless. So we get to the dinner. Obviously, Tamara's acting kind of weird, and that's when Mars just brings up the whole comment that Jamal said about the T-Rex. Now, Jamal immediately denies this. He's saying, I didn't say none of that stuff, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't believe Mars will lie about this, so y'all, you making up stuff, or is Jamal lying? Now, in the beginning, I'm like, Jamal, stop lying, but then it's like, I don't know. He might be telling the truth. So that's why it's kind of like, okay, what is Yannick saying? But as Chris mentioned, it's a lot of he said, she said. So will we ever know the truth? I don't know. But Tamara just keeps asking, even though they're trying to go move on with the dinner and the chefs are trying to present the food that they made for the night and whatnot. Tamara keeps asking Jamal, so, you didn't call me no T-Rex? So y'all are just lying and all this stuff. So Jamal is getting annoyed, and he's saying stop asking me that question, because, I'm going to stop answering, because it's, he's going to have the same answer of him saying no. So I'm just like, okay, I get Tamara's in her feelings, but clearly in this moment, he's going to keep saying the same answer. He's not going to say, yes, fine, I said it. This ain't, well, it is TV, but this ain't no like sitcom TV show or movie. So he, for the most part, he already denied it. He's going to keep denying it. So continuously asking him throughout this dinner is not going to help anything. So she gets fed up and gets up and walks away. And I guess that's where the dinner ends. I mean, I'm sure they still ate, but that was the last we saw. Because then we get to the next morning, Paige and Tamara talking. And Paige suggests that Tamara talks to Marty about it. So I guess that's what she goes ahead and do. Around the house, there's a lot of tension because of what happened the night before. Chris keeps talking about, he just glad him and Paige are on a good page. And I'm just like, you jinxed it and you spoke too soon, because we're going to see what happened later on in the episode. But we get to the point where the girls get a message that they can choose to keep their men or eliminate them. So Tamara talks with Marty, and Marty tries to convince her to look on the positives and think about the pros of, keeping Jamal. I mean, I guess, but if it bothers Tamara that much, I'm not going to say it's wrong for her to feel some type of way about it. But if it really bothers her that much, I would want to get to the bottom of it. But obviously, she may not have that time to. So therefore, such and such, I guess she got to figure out what she's going to do. So after that, we get to the men. They make breakfast. Pretty much Chris and Ishan make breakfast for everybody. And they sit down and chit-chat. Everybody's there except for Tamara. And they talk about their lives and family. We get to Chris, and we get to his perception of the way the family should be, his hierarchy, whatnot. He says the man comes first. Actually, it's God, then the man, then the wife, and then the kids. So immediately Paige is turned off. Everybody's looking at him like, bro, why would you say something like this, And he's standing firm on his stance. So Paige considers it a major red flag, and it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and Chris is continuing to dig a bigger grave for himself. I mean, not for me personally, but for everybody else, because everybody else disagrees with him, and, eventually Paige and Mars gets up and walk away. Paige and Mars talk in a room, and Paige says she needs some time alone, so Mars leaves Paige alone to think about what she's going to do. Now, for me personally, I'm not saying that's wrong for him to think that. Obviously, Paige thinks otherwise. Now, in regards to if I felt the same way Paige does, okay, I'm not going to down talk him or saying how he thinks is incorrect. It's just the way he thinks does not coincide with the way I think. That means we're not compatible in regards to that. And if that's a major thing that plays for both of us in our lives, and that could be a deal breaker, clearly we're not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, I can understand her being like, oh, man, it's not going to work. I was so disappointed because I did like this guy. But if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But I felt like from this episode, they were really trying to make it seem like what he was saying was incorrect. No, I don't think what he was saying was incorrect. That's the way he thinks about, how he wants his family dynamic to be. So be it. There's plenty of people who feel and think the same way. Now, for me, I do want to be independent. I do want to be able to have my thoughts and opinion matter. However, he's saying, talking about providing and stuff, and I guess Mars made mention that he wants his wife to be barefoot and pregnant. For me, I'm just like, listen, you paying all the bills? Because nowadays, it ain't cheap. So if you have the finances to take care of yourself and me and the kids with your one salary, and you just want me to stay home, be a stay-at-home mom, and cook and clean. I mean, if you can afford to have cleaners, that'd be great too. But cook and clean, I might be here for it. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm able to still do me at the same time, then we good. If you want me to literally stay home, don't be going out with no friends and stuff, then I can't do that. Because I don't go out as much as I used to, but I still like to the occasional go out to. And when I say go out, I'm talking about to eat, restaurant. Okay, clubs, been there, done that. It's not really my vibe. Going out for brunch, going out to a nice little restaurant at nighttime, that's like on the downtown area. Yes, absolutely. But I don't think, back to the show. We're not going to talk about me. Back to the show. I don't think what Chris says is incorrect. I think everybody has their own personal opinions, and they have their own ways they want to live their life. And there's plenty of females, black females, mind you, Not only, other races, but I believe there's a lot of black females. No, I'm not going to say a lot. But there's quite a few black females that would have no problem with letting Chris lead, because he made mention that somebody got to submit to somebody, and in his mind, the woman should submit to the man. Now, once again, I don't think what he's saying is incorrect. That's his personal opinion. Would I submit to a man? The right man. I ain't gonna be submitting to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? But to the right man, I can submit in certain things. It just depends what we're talking about, and obviously I would have those conversations, like, okay, to really get a grasp of exactly what you mean, because I don't want to just make an assumption just from one statement that you said. And it seems like from this scene, it seems like they just heard what he said and they just ran with it, instead of like kind of getting more in depth about what he meant. And just the way the producers played out the episode, it just made it sound bad. But I feel like if we really got to sit down with him live and ask him like specific questions, it kind of would be like more so of a, okay, I mean, I can see where you see that, but that's on you. And, his mindset is more of like a Christian value mindset. And I know not all Christians are made the same and have the same thoughts about things, but that's just the way he does. And, I'm not capping for Chris, because I don't want Chris. Okay. Let me just throw that out there. Okay. Let's keep it clear. I do not want Chris. Okay. Chris does not seem like my type at all. And none of that. Okay, so I just want to throw that out. Ain't nobody crapping for no Chris. I'm just saying, if that's the way he thinks, okay, I'm not gonna knock him for thinking that or tell him he's wrong or thinking that, because I felt like, even though they didn't directly tell him he was wrong and thinking that, I feel like they was indirectly letting him know, like, listen, the way you think it is wrong and incorrect, and you're not gonna be bringing down no black woman. I don't think that's bringing down no black woman. I think it just depends on the person. Everybody has different personalities, and for him, he wants someone to submit to him and stuff, and he will probably find that person. And he's on TV now, so a girl gonna be like, I'll do it, Chris. So clearly it's just not for Paige. So we get to the eliminations, and we have Mars. She keeps Ishan, even though she said she didn't feel like no connection other than like friends, and he was made a little too much sexual comments towards her, or flirty comments. I just really be like, what do y'all want? You know what I'm saying? Because you can make flirt comments to me. Like if I'm dating and stuff like that, I like that. Like, I like to feel wanted, So I mean, Mars don't like it, so that's fine. Everybody, like I said, I just said everybody's different. But for me, I'm just like, okay, for Indian man, you got a little swag, I guess, But she didn't like it, but she kept him anyway to see where it could go, so that's cool. Tamara kept Jamal. I had a feeling, because I feel like she has the best connection with Jamal out of all her 3 prospects. So I'm sure that kid did something for her. So okay, he's staying. Then we get to Paige. She eliminates Chris. Like, she first said, she was gonna keep him hands down. So he was excited at first, or happy at first. Said, thank you, I appreciate that, but he ended up getting eliminated, and Chris just felt like, she didn't give him a chance to really explain himself. And I'm just like, well, I can see what you said, Chris, but it's just, I don't know, just the way it played out for us. I'm pretty sure it went a different way in real life, but just the way it played out for us on TV, it seemed like you were just digging a bigger grave. But don't worry, listen, she ain't for you, you ain't for her. That's fine. Paige, I feel like she don't know what she want either. So take it as maybe you dodged a bullet. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna find someone just like Preston. I think his name is Preston. He gonna find someone that's there for him. You gonna find someone for yourself too. You're not a bad looking guy, so you'll find someone. Chris, you'll be alright. And then we get to the men back at home. They're waiting for everybody to arrive, and then that's when the girls get a message saying that they get to enter the hall one last time. And in my head, I'm like, that's what y'all said the last time. But they get to enter the hall one last time, and this is going to be a solo entering. Like, they each enter by themselves, and these are going to be familiar faces. So someone they may have eliminated, or someone that was in the hall that they didn't choose and whatnot. So we gonna see. Paige talking about she don't want to go back in the hall, and the girls convince her otherwise. Once again, like I said, Paige, you was so down to go back into the hall the last time, but was upset that you couldn't go in. Now that you get another chance to go in, because now you literally only have one man left, you talking about you don't even want to go back in and just want to give all your time to Justin. What do you want, Paige? What do you want? And then the other girls are like, well, it's dating. And that's why I'm just like, so are we serious about finding someone, or are we just having fun with it? If we're just having fun, that's fine too. Don't get me wrong. If you want to have fun, by all means. But at the same time, if you talk about your intention is, to really find someone and get married, then it's like we got to really figure out what we want to do. Because I feel like with Paige, it's not just because she wanted to spend all her time with Justin. I think she just kind of is just over, man, especially with the whole Chris situation, that now it's like she really don't want to see or talk to nobody else because they could be the same as Chris. But not because, I just really want to spend all my time with Justin. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see who is back in the hall for next week's episode. I just have one request. Even though it's already done happen, the season's over with, and we're just like watching whatever the producers put together of all the footage. I just really hope that you guys don't put Kenny back in there. Please. Because it's not going to make sense to me. Okay? Because Kenny is just, he already going to be complaining about his feet hurt and stuff standing in there. So as long as Kenny's not back in there, we're Gucci. I feel like one of the twins or both of the twins might be back. And I think Isaac, the first guy that Tamara eliminated, is going to be back. So was Isaac with Tamara? Or was that Paige? Either way, I think Isaac going to be back. That was it. That was the end of the episode. Like I said, it's always a nice, easy watch. And I do actually enjoy watching this show. Out of all the shows I reviewed thus far, like this week, like on a weekly basis recently, I feel like The Love Experiment is the most easiest to watch because it's just nice and light and just, the time flies by when I watch this show, other than the Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff. The Love Experiment, I do. Come back with another season. But that was it, guys. If you like this video, which I hope you do, please like or hit the thumbs up. Okay. If you laughed at least once, subscribe. If you didn't laugh, that's cool. There's another episode next week, so come back next week. I'll make some more jokey jokes. Hopefully you laugh. I was going to say you going to laugh, but that's mean, okay? I hope you laugh so you can subscribe then. Be easy, breezy, lemon squeezy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.